Hello, welcome to subramani.com. If you have been following me on my blog and on YouTube, you have been seeing that I've been talking a lot about making a will. Here is a story of a young lady who is a chartered accountant and must be around 30 years of age, I'm just guessing. And look at her ordeal as to what happened to her. So I'm reading out what she's saying. So obviously this is not original from me, but she said that. And she said, few things I learned after my husband's death. We believe we live forever. We don't. We need nomination. We need a will. We need to have our documents and papers in the proper place, right? And she also says life is so unpredictable. We all know that, but we pretend like we are permanent. Nothing is going to happen to us. That's wrong. Her husband, an IT guy, was 33 years of age, died in a motorcycle accident. Obviously, apart from his life, what he lost was his mobile, which was smashed. Nothing was found of the mobile. I mean, nothing could be retrieved. So, and being a techie, all his documents were available on his laptop, and his laptop was locked. Everything had a lock. His password file had a lock. The logon power switch had a lock, so really she couldn't do anything using the laptop. She just couldn't open it. She didn't know who was her immediate reporting boss because that had changed recently. She knew some of her colleagues but didn't have their phone numbers with her. She obviously it was lost in his mobile. Now consider that his nomination was his mother for his provident fund, and his mother had died 2 years ago. There was no nomination in his savings account, in his bank FD, perhaps in his PPF. There was no nomination. The motorbike was in his name and could not be sold without it being transferred to her name. Now imagine in this country, we are still in the British times in terms of documentation. Even a document which you get from the digital locker, you have to take a printout and get it attested by some chartered accountant, IAS officer, some nonsense. Otherwise, things don't move. Forget who says. People say that achhe din or whatever. I'm not getting into the politics, but no, papers don't move. You need all this. You need affidavits. You need probates. Otherwise, nothing moves. Whether it's a mutual fund or anywhere, you need all those papers in place. Right? Banks. So this girl must have run pillar to post, considering that all his passwords were alphanumeric with an asterisk or whatever, typical complicated passwords, which were saved in a password file, and that file also she had absolutely no access. Now, you think being a chartered accountant, she would have found it easy? Answer is no, she did not find it very easy. She thought everything was documented. It was not documented. They had taken a term loan for buying a house, and of course they did not take term insurance because they were in a hurry to finalize and they were trying to save some money, right? So in the office, for all of us, what happens is in our professional life, we are very diligent because there's an audit requirement, etc. But in personal life, there's always tomorrow. You can keep postponing. कल करते हैं, परसों करते हैं. मैं थोड़े अभी मरने वाला हूँ. My father is still not made his will. What is the hurry for me to make a will? Why should I nominate? अभी क्या जल्दी है? रुक जाओ. I'll change the nominee. What is your hurry? You think I'm going to die? It's in my mother's name only. No, my mother has died, so it is not a problem. My father, it will not go to my father. You have no clue to whom it will go, right? So don't make a mess of it. You need a will, you need a nomination, you need all those things. Being a chartered accountant, this girl could guess. She could go to the bank, she could say salary account, no nominee, PPF account, no nominee. So just let me, term insurance, non-existent. Now she had to live on a single salary paying the huge EMI, right? Of course she could sell the house and all that. Luckily for her, 9 years into the marriage and they didn't have a kid. If there were 2 kids, it would have just worse compounded the problems, right? So they never thought that all this would happen to them. After all, bad things happen to bad people, or bad things happen to neighbors, brothers, sisters, but not to yourself, right? So House, land, car, motorbike, everything has to be transferred in your name before it can be sold. You cannot sell the property of a dead man. Even if you have a power of attorney, it doesn't work. So that has to get transferred to the wife. That is the headache, and after that only she will be able to sell. So it's not going to be very easy. Even the bike can't be sold without it being transferred. So she was obviously shaken. She realized, I mean, like all of us, she realized how much we had all taken our life for granted. We thought, oh, it should not be a problem, right? So let me just enumerate the lessons learned, or what she says. These are the lessons that I learned from the death of my husband. So I think it's a great lesson for all of us also to learn. It's always nice if somebody else makes the mistake, pays the price, and shares the lessons with you. So you should be happy that I'm sharing the lessons with you. This came to me as a WhatsApp forward. I don't know this girl. I mean, I'm guessing that she's from Bangalore. So she says it's a usual practice to put a name of somebody, so, and then forget it. So he had put his mother's name. His mother had died. He had not bothered to change. So even his salary account did not have a nomination. So she says, please check all your nominations in your bank account, fixed deposit, national savings certificate, bank lockers, GMAT accounts, insurance, life insurance, bike, car, property. All that insurance should also carry somebody else's name. Investments and PF and pension forms, right? Everything you have to change the nominee. If you put your mother as a nominee and if your mother has died, if you continue to keep your mother as a nominee and the mother is alive, all the others should know that this is money meant for your wife in case something happens to you, not for the general welfare of society or for the whole family, right? Passwords. Today we have passwords for practically everything. So if you have a password, keep the password simple, or even if you have to keep it complicated, put the formula in place saying, okay, it will have a name, it will have a city name, like it will have your kid's name, a city name, and your date of birth or your wedding anniversary. So she has to only try within those combinations, you know. So that's important. Put it down on a piece of paper in case you change. Scribble pad, but at least keep it in the scribble pad, like she might be able to try it in case you're not around. Investments, every year, whatever investments you make, wherever you make sure that everybody knows what you're doing. You have to have a financial advisor who tells your wife that, okay, this is where he has invested, this is what he has done, these are the 4 fund houses in which he has invested. Make sure that you meet the financial advisor jointly. Maybe you go to his office, maybe he comes to your house, whatever it is. Make sure both of you know him. Make sure you have the important phone numbers with you. Husband died, phone was lost, completely all access lost. If all your relatives, everybody's number is in his phone only, how are you going to get in touch with all of them, even to call them for the funeral, right? So don't assume that these numbers will always be available. Don't assume that you could just call him and say, hello, password batao na. Not available, he's dead and gone. What will you do, right? That's the question that we are asking today. Liabilities, if you have taken any loans for your house, car, etc., check on all that, how much has been paid, right? Check all that, know everything, so that will the EMI still be there within the range? Will you be able to pay the EMI, or will the EMI be too big for your comfort, right? So she says she wrote this article when her battles had just begun. I have no clue whether she's been able to solve it, but even if she's been able to solve it, it must have taken tremendous amount of effort. And at least she was a chartered accountant, she knew how to do it. If you think professional help is available for things like this, you will be stunned at the fees that people ask for, right? So simple work like this is what you think, very complicated is what the other person thinks. So just the fees and the quantity of work don't match, so nobody wants to do such work, right? So be careful. Thank you.